What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen that I was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. This is absolutely crazy. I'll tell you that. I definitely tell you that this is absolutely crazy. It's absolutely disgusting for the things that I found out and seen today. When it comes down to what's going on in New York, you literally have right here Zohran Mamdani responds after post servicing that, showing his wife like content celebrating, October 7th attacks, which is pretty wild. It's definitely wild. Leading up to what else I have to show y'all, it's so many things, it's so many things, and I'm telling y'all, we're literally seeing it every single day of something going on in New York, and it's slowly changing. It's slowly changing with him being mayor. Check it out.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Mayor. You should have a chance, I think, to respond to this. It's an off-topic question. I'd like to know what your reaction was to the article in the Jewish Insider that was posted about your wife's social media activity. And what I'm wondering is, you're an elected official. She is not. Is it anybody's business, and is it fair to question you about it?
My wife is the love of my life, and she's also a private person who has held no formal position on my campaign or in my city hall. I, however, was elected to represent all 8.5 million people in this city, and I believe that it's my responsibility, because of that role, to answer any questions about my thoughts and my policies and my decisions.
So basically, like anybody would say, dodging the question. Me personally, I feel like this is you're dodging the question when it comes down to it. Also feel like if this was, let's say, the first lady, Melania Trump, I feel like they would this would be totally it'd be everywhere. It'd be everywhere. It'd be something they talk about for a long time. They'll always, they always talk about. But since, I truly don't understand it. I truly don't understand on how messed up, these things are. You literally have it right here. This is the post. And like I said, if this was Melania, I'm telling y'all, you literally have his wife right here in the likes. Says Jewish insider reveals that Zohran Mamdani's wife was mass liking Instagram post on October 7th, celebrating. And this may not have been on October 7th, because y'all know that y'all can obviously like a post, old post. So, and this is not the only post. And it's truly, truly sickening. I'm not going to lie. It's definitely sickening. Not to mention, this is Jake Lang. I'm sure a lot of y'all know Jake Lang. He has been on the channel before. It says you bring a roasted pig to an anti-Islam protest in the middle of Ramadan. Says if you're a Muslims and leftists in New York City, they were furious, launching all types of things. Even, I'm pretty sure it was said that smoke bombs, or some type of, devices. It's pretty wild. I'm gonna tell y'all one thing, regardless of anybody's differences on how you feel, whoever you vote for, whoever you support, this stuff should not happen. Whatsoever, with things being thrown, with people being insulted, that's something that's clearly not okay. Truly. But here's the video right here. And then they're obviously doing a lot of cussing, so I'm going to mute that for a second. But y'all clearly see how angry people definitely get, within a lot, and it's truly sickening on how people are, regardless of what you do. Bringing a roasted pig, anything you don't have people obviously talking crazy. You don't have people throwing things, trying to fight. You don't have individuals. They're not doing that, and I'm not taking up for nobody. It's just the simple fact that you have so many people that's angry that take extra steps into making, bad things happen. This is a post by Benny Johnson. This is a photo of the two suspects in the attempted smoke bomb attack on the conservative protesters in New York. It's definitely sickening, that both these individuals, y'all can see. I have another picture too that I'm gonna show y'all, but you can clearly see, they're saying smoke bomb. There's some type of it, in their hand. But check it out right here, y'all.
As Amir
Give y'all
Balat,
more on it.
an 18-year-old man, lit and threw an ignited device toward the protest area, landing in the crosswalk of East 87th Street and East End Avenue. Witnesses reported seeing flames and smoke as it traveled through the air before it struck a barrier and extinguished itself a few feet from police officers. Mr. Balat then ran southbound on East End Avenue toward 86th Street and gets a second device from a man tentatively ID'd as Ibrahim Nick, 19 years old. Mr. Balat lights the device and starts running with it. He then drops the device on the west side of East End Avenue between East 86th and East 87th Streets. Officers immediately secured the area and they took both men into custody. This was all captured on NYPD Argus camera.
So I'm gonna show y'all another angle of this. It's definitely crazy. It says the Mamdani administration is refusing to call the attempted attack, on anti-Islam protesters in New York, act of terrorism, which is definitely crazy. It says they won't even call IEDs bombs. Calling them devices packed with nuts and bolts, I guess, which are called, if I'm not mistaken, bombs. But you know how things are, I guess. Pretty insane. Check it out right here. This is another angle. So you obviously see all right here. It hasn't happened yet. And they're literally running towards it right here. They're literally running towards it right here, y'all. And getting close to it and taking a picture. Me personally, I still wouldn't get close to it because you have to think about it. Regardless of it still smoking like that, you never know, if it'll go off or not. So definitely have to be careful with stuff like that. You don't know what's inside of that, you know what I mean? So I ended up actually getting the two guys right here. That's one of them. And they gave Mr. Lang a police escort because I'm pretty sure that's who they were throwing it towards. As y'all can see, Nick Shirley had made a post, which is definitely, real, definitely true. It says if you're willing to, when it comes to Americans in America for believing in Christianity, you have no place here. We have freedom of religion. Don't try to end Christians' lives because we don't believe in your religion. And that's truly fair. It's truly, real, about it. It's truly sickening that these individuals, are not only doing this, but you have Zoran Mamdani that's allowing it. It's definitely sickening. You definitely have it right here. I'm not gonna play this whole video. I'm gonna skip through it. It is a long video, and I'm sure y'all don't really care, to even see much about it. But yeah, just blocks away from Ground Zero in New York City, fully masked, man. I tell y'all, man, this is definitely insane. They're literally out there for the leader, of Iran, and they're supporting him, throwing him a vigil. Check it out.
We mourn Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
We mourn Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
We mourn their sovereignty.
Like, do y'all see it?
As internally colonized people.
Like, this is absolutely insane. I'm not gonna lie. And it's a small group. It's not a big group, but it shouldn't be anything either. You know what I mean? Like, it's more to it. And y'all know what I mean by that. Like, it's definitely more to it on this. And it's definitely sickening on how, you're having so much of a shift. You're having so much of a change when it comes down to New York City and how things are, especially being by, ground zero. Definitely sickening. I'll tell you that. Definitely sickening. You have it here, though, as Iranian Americans and their allies shut down, what they got going on, whatever they want to call it, and chanting, Trump.
Trump, thank you. 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 Trump, thank you.
So, and this is something that I absolutely love, just for the simple fact that you have so many things, and there's still people that obviously don't support what they got going on, don't support Zohran Mamdani, but at the same time, you do see a bigger shift, when it comes down to things that obviously we don't support and we're not with, when it comes down to what's going on in New York City. I'll tell you that. One thing about it, and this is something that I definitely wanted to show because it definitely is true. This is a post by Latinia Brown. She says, you have a mayor in office who controls the NYPD, the governor, and the New York speaker, which leads me to believe that, any threats against Americans or Jews will be ignored, which is definitely true. I hate to say it in New York, but you are in danger under this administration. The FBI and DOJ must step in and take over the city because, again, this is something that is true. It's something that's true. It's something that's real. And it's sickening that you have so many of these individuals that truly are changing New York, and you're having a mayor that truly doesn't care whatsoever about Americans at all. And it's definitely sickening. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for the next video dropping tonight. Definitely apologize, for the late uploads. Definitely had a busy, when I say a busy weekend, it has been a busy weekend. But some of y'all have been following me. I know a lot of y'all have been following me on Instagram. And follow me, sometimes when I'm, letting people know, about what's going on in my life. Me even having, a fitness, a basketball team, great basketball team. And, we today we won our quarterfinal. So we have hopefully, I pray that, we win this semifinal so we can go to the championship. So that'd definitely be pretty cool. But like I said, I had a busy day. Had a busy weekend. My mom, my pops, they left to go out of town. Then my birthday, and it was just a lot. It's just a lot stuff going on with my daughter. It's a lot of things that's going on. But at the end of the day, I'm definitely glad, that I can drop these videos and definitely spread some knowledge to people that obviously don't have that common sense. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for the next video dropping tonight. Catch y'all next one.